Okay,
see it.
good, very good. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Ko Kanka George. Hope you had a nice weekend. It's getting to be autumn already. The weather should be a little bit cooler, but for some reason it was very hot over the weekend, muggy too. But anyway, also I heard that there's the tropical storm is coming this week too. So I don't know what happened. It's funny weather. Anyway, there are some good news, and as far as the economy is concerned, the economy is going well, and that's the good news. But the bad news is that because of that, the Fed may not be willing to lower the interest rates. So, in the next meeting, which is going to be the September 19th, they might raise the interest rate by 25 percentage point again. So if you're looking for the interest rate relief, sorry, I mean, it's not going to happen, I don't think. But anyway, before we start the meeting, I would like to announce the changing of the format for the Monday meeting. It used to be that we have Anthony Nguyen to give us a little training in the beginning of the session. But now Anthony is no longer associated with Coldwell Banker George. So from now on, we have a new format. And instead of his training, we'll have some affiliate, the highlight to give a talk on the specific topic. And today we're honored to have Tony Escamilla from Villa Home Inspection. Tony is no stranger to us. He already had a couple of sessions with us before, and every time we have good attendance in his seminar. So we're looking forward to that. But before I give it to Tony, I don't know whether we have any other affiliates that are attending. Let me see. Do we have any affiliates other than Tony?
I don't see any.
I don't think so, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well then they don't need to introduce themselves. Anyway, so after Tony's presentation, I'll give a little update on the market and the economy, and also we give a chance for the agents to share the listings and to share the stories and the total experiences, and so it's kind of a open forum after that. So I hope all of you guys can participate, and it's going to be fun. Okay, with that, I would like to introduce Tony. Tony, take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate the invite and what you do for your agents. So let me bring this up on my screen really quickly. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And make a quick adjustment here because this control bar sometimes gets in the way. So let me bring this up. There we go. So good morning, everybody. Happy to see so many people here this morning on this wonderful Monday morning. Again, thank you, Peter, for inviting me. Yes, I have been in your office a few times, and I appreciate it every time that I go out there. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tony. I am the owner of Villa Property Inspections. We've been in business actually for 25 years as of last week, marked our 25th year. I'm a licensed contractor for the last 23 years. Obviously, as a certified inspector. I also mentor other agents. Let me double check something. I'm sorry, I have to look at something here. Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure I had the right presentation up. So I also mentor and I coach other inspectors throughout the country for business development that are starting new home inspection companies. I owned a window covering manufacturing business many years ago out in the San Fernando Valley, which was very successful. So I've been in some kind of business or another for quite some time. I also own two other businesses currently, and I'm getting ready to launch another business, in my spare time. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying all of this, and I'll get to it right now. Today's topic, what I want to talk to you is actually about marketing, not home inspections. So what I do, obviously, is my inspection company, but I also have a contract and I work for the city of Pasadena as an inspector for the city of Pasadena as well when I'm, once or twice a week. I own a company called Inspector Growth, which is where we do coaching for business coaching for other inspectors throughout the country. I run a mastermind group for home inspectors throughout the country as well. And I run a business networking group, very similar to BNI, if you're familiar with BNI. So yeah, I have my hands full. Later in the month of this coming month, I'm actually launching a book. I'm mid-book launch right now. I wrote a book for business development for home inspectors. And so I'm in the middle of podcast interviews and speaking engagements and things like that. So the reason why I bring that up is because there are certain things that I'm sorry, I have to double check this again. No, this is the wrong presentation. While I find the correct presentation, I can go ahead and keep talking. There are certain things that home inspectors have in common with realtors, and one of them is marketing. Regardless of what type of business you're in, there are certain functions that you absolutely need, and marketing is one of them. And give me 1 second here. I apologize. I thought I had the right presentation here. There it is. Okay. This is the correct presentation. So again, my apologies for that. Can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Let me get back into the screen here. There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're good now. Again, my apologies. So these are really quick. I'm going to condense a lot of information into a short period of time, but I have a full-blown presentation just on marketing. So if we ever have more time, I'd be happy to come back and go through the entire presentation. But I'm going to kind of tear through this right now because I'm sure you have other stuff to cover in your meeting. One of the things that's important, regardless of what type of business is knowing your numbers. And Peter just mentioned some of the stuff, and he's going to give you a market update after I'm done here. But I keep track of the real estate market as well because I kind of have to, so that I know where my inspection business is going. So mortgage applications dropped 2.9% from the previous week, and that's an indication. It's a key performance indicator of where our market is going in the next few weeks. Refinances also dropped 5% from the previous week, but they dropped 30% from last year, same time of the year. So the market is definitely shifting. Interest rates did decrease to 7.21 last week, but they're still a whole percentage point higher than they were last year. The market is shifting, it's slowing down. As far as inspections go, we saw a huge uptick in business in the last couple of weeks. So I'm not sure what exactly the market is doing. We'll try to keep up as much as we can, but definitely the trend, as you know, and I won't tell you your business, the market is trending down right now, and we're hoping that it's gonna trend up. But this is why it makes marketing that much more important. What are you doing to get your share of the market right now? And so there's a huge marketing umbrella, and these are things that as realtors you have to cover a variety of different things all at the same time. As far as marketing goes, there's advertising, there is print advertising, door hangers for realtors. We use the same thing, flyers, direct mail. Not too many people use direct mail anymore. It's not quite as effective as it used to be. There's online advertising, and these are things that if you're not doing at least a little bit of each one of these sections, you really should implement even one or two different things out of each one of these sections here. There's online advertising, there's pay-per-click like Google ads. You have Google, you have Facebook and Instagram. People think that by posting on Facebook and Instagram that's going to bring business to you. A post without some kind of direction and a call to action is just a post, a social media post. So you have to be very deliberate about advertising on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok, believe it or not, is actually taking off right now for real estate and home inspections. I see more and more and more of that going on right now. That's a good place to go right now. There's also sales, direct sales. I don't know how many here in the room have a sales team. I know that certain realtors work with the sales teams. They have assistants, they have buyer specialists, listing specialists, things like that. That is one of the quickest ways to scale your business, is by having other people working with you. And I know that was how I was able to scale my business. During the pandemic, I scaled my business about 400% in those first 2 years. And it was by having the right people in the right places. Community involvement. For example, we're doing a trunk or treat event in Claremont in the next couple of weeks. And it's a huge, huge community event now over the last years. You literally get hundreds and hundreds of people coming through, and the office in that area puts it together. And this is where, by getting involved with the community, you start building your brand. And your brand is something that you really, really should consider. And it's not the same as for realtors. It's not the same thing like me. That color that you see behind me is very purposeful. I rebranded the company a couple of years ago. That's the color of our company shirts. The logo is everywhere. It's plastered everywhere. But for realtors, it's a little bit different. You want to have good photos and post that particular photo of yourself everywhere, on social media, on your websites, on Facebook, on everything that you do. As a matter of fact, I know a person who has a billboard on real estate, but every time I drive by there, I take a look and her picture is there. And everybody comments on that, but it's part of being consistent and building your brand. Also, I don't know, by show of hands here, how many of you have an actual website, like your own website? Okay, I'm surprised to see that not more people have their own website, because a website, when it's done properly with search engine optimization, can drive people to you. My website, I just saw the numbers. Google sent me the numbers last week for my website. I had over 1,800 clicks on my website alone last month. And that's just from the search engine optimization and getting the name out there and getting the name out there. And business comes completely by itself now. Also, by show of hands, does anybody have a blog? Okay, that is a missed opportunity, and I'll circle back to this right now, because blogging is one of the most effective ways and least expensive ways to get in front of your potential clients. it doesn't take a lot. Now with ChatGPT, it's even easier to
Mhm.
create a blog. Now, I'm sure most of you here have received my emails on a regular basis, and it's usually linking back to a blog that I've written. And I try to provide useful information. I try never to spam you guys. I try to provide useful information that I know that you can use. And my open rates, and I'll show you right now, are through the roof. Backlinks on the websites, if you get people to link to you, that's a good way to drive more traffic to your website. Social media, of course. And I'll dive a little more into social media in a second. Networking groups. Show of hands, how many people belong to some kind of networking group, like BNI, Teams, anything like that? I get more business from my networking group than I do on probably any other thing that I do, because we have 15 people in our networking group right now. Those are 15 salespeople who are bringing me business, and vice versa. So anytime I post something on social media, they repost it. Anytime the realtor in our group posts an open house, 15 people repost that open house. And so if you're not in a networking group, you really should look for one that works for you. Networking groups, Chamber of Commerce, another good way to network in the community. Church groups. Church groups are really good for networking in the community. And it's not so much like, you're not going to go to a church group and advertise, hey, I'm a realtor, but you get to know people and you get to tell them who you are, what you do. And that just gets the name out there. It gets your name out there. So things to remember: marketing is not immediate. If you put a Facebook ad, for example, out there, it's not going to bring you business immediately. There's a lot of consistency, and it's not linear. It's not, okay, I put a Facebook ad, so now I'm going to get business out of it. No. Ideally, you have a Facebook ad out, you have emails that you're sending to your past clients, you have community involvement, you have networking, and it comes from different places, not, because you put an ad out, you get a business. And you have to do all of these things simultaneously. You also have to know your market. What's going on in your local community? Who is it that are buying? And all of this information is available. I look it up from CAR. I look at it from NAR. There's breakdowns by community. Who's buying? How old are they? What's their education level? That kind of stuff. So that when you put something out there, you're targeting, the millennials, for example, right now. And because the quickest way to reach nobody is to try to reach everybody. And putting a very general, vague ad on social media, whether it's just a post or whether it's a paid ad, is not going to have a return unless you target a very specific group of people. Marketing is a business function. I have Tuesdays on my calendar where I don't do any inspection work. I work on marketing, whether it be my blogs, whether it be social media. I'm planning out social media. We schedule social media posts 2 times a day, 5 days a week, and they're scheduled in one day, and then they go out automatically every day. But it is a business function. It's just like bookkeeping. It's like anything else. It's a business function that has to be done on a regular basis. It can be very, very overwhelming because there are so many places that we can advertise now and get our name out. And like I said a little while ago, trying to reach everybody and be everywhere on every social media platform, on everything like that, is the quickest way to not reach anybody. You have to pick a very specific place or two where you're going to concentrate your efforts. The best places that you're going to reach people, and there's another slide coming up on that, and concentrate on that and keep hitting that consistently. There's a thing called paralysis by analysis. A lot of people, there are so many things out there and so many choices that there's actually a study about this, that because there are so many choices, you don't make a choice at all. And so you have to pick a couple of things and concentrate on them. Consistency beats perfection every day of the week. So being consistent, getting your name out there, is what eventually starts bringing in business. You know, I always equate this when I'm coaching an inspector. It's like your car jumping into the freeway. As you're getting on that on-ramp, you have to hit the accelerator to reach, 60, 70 miles per hour. That initial amount of energy and force, it takes a lot of effort. But once you get to 70 miles an hour, it takes very little effort to maintain that speed anymore. The problem is that if you allow yourself to slow down and take your foot off the pedal, metaphorically, trying to ramp back up when things get slow, like they did at the beginning of this year, is going to take you that much more effort to get back up to speed, as opposed to you already being there and doing consistent things every day, because now you're maintaining that speed. But you have to have a plan. And so before you go, especially if you're going to do paid advertising, you have to have a plan, because otherwise you're just throwing money out there. So you have to know, for example, are you specialized in something as a realtor? I know realtors who are specialized with first-time home buyers. This is what they deal with, so this is what they advertise. First-time home buyers, that's what they're going for. There's some that work on trust and probates, and that's their specialty, that's their niche. Some work with multifamily, some work with commercial, and they specialize in that. Everything that they put out there is based on whatever their specialty is. Interesting study from NAR last year. 89% of buyers would recommend their agents to other people. However, there's a big but here. Only 38% of buyers used the agent that was recommended by a friend. Even though almost 90% said that they would use the same agent, only 38% actually used somebody that was recommended. And the reason is the lack of consistent marketing, particularly to your previous customers. So, show of hands, how many people market to your previous clients on a regular basis? Yeah. So your previous clients, everybody knows that the statistic, most home buyers are going to buy something, 5, 8 years later. So they're not going to, if you sold them a house right now, they're not going to buy anything anytime soon. But you know who is going to buy something? Mom, dad, brother, sister, friend. So by keeping your name in front of your previous clients on a regular basis, that is the gap between that 89% and that 38%. Because that's low hanging fruit. These are the people who are going to bring you business. It's referrals, it's relationships. That's why when we send out emails, and I know I brought this up when I visited your office, we put your information. Every email after a home inspection, that buyer is going to receive 12 emails once a month from us with home maintenance tips. Hey, it's time to replace your batteries on your smoke detectors, time to replace your HVAC filters. Once a month, our name is in front of them. But guess what? Once a month, your name is in front of them as well, because your picture and your contact info is at the bottom of each one of those emails as well. So those are 12 touches to keep your name in front of them. That's free advertising right there. And if you do it in a consistent way with a service like MailChimp, for example, I set up my emails on our CRM and they go out automatically. I don't even have to deal with them. You just keep dropping the names in there and it's consistent, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Oh, last bit of information. 67% of buyers only interviewed one agent, and that's who they went with. So again, getting your name out in front of your potential clients, regardless of what you specialize in, it's paramount. These are the social media platforms, and I'll make this graphic available to you on who's on what social media. Older people are on Facebook. So if you're targeting older people, that's where you want to go. YouTube, huge for younger generation right now. Anything that you can advertise on YouTube as well. It doesn't have to be a video. You can place an ad on YouTube. Millennials are on Instagram, hands down. If you want to reach millennials, you're going to jump on Instagram. Twitter, not so much anymore. LinkedIn is for professionals. So if you do, for example, commercial, that's where you want to be, is on LinkedIn. TikTok right now is booming. That is the place. If you don't have a TikTok account, you probably should open one. You probably should be posting on TikTok. So yeah, your demographics, I won't get too much into this. Knowing your demographics, who you're trying to target. For example, if you're trying to target millennials, you want to know their age, their gender, their ethnicity. All of this information is available. What geographical area are you targeting? If you're gonna, especially if you're spending money and you are concentrating, for example, on the Alhambra area, Arcadia area, everything that you do should be targeted at that. Anything that you post on social media should have hashtags: Arcadia real estate, Arcadia first-time home buyers, Alhambra real estate, all of that. But all of that takes a little bit of planning. So you actually have to sit down, figure out, number one, who you're trying to reach, where they are, and how you're going to get to them. Picking one of these platforms and how you're going to get to them, and then you make a plan. How often am I going to target these people? Best for residential real estate: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Best for commercial real estate is LinkedIn. Social media, Facebook. Paid ads on Facebook. I don't know who does paid ads on Facebook. Anybody? I still do some paid ads. They are not the same as they used to be. If you've ever Googled something, whatever you're looking up, the results are not going to be Facebook or Instagram posts. You're never going to see that because Google their algorithm does not bring up Facebook or Instagram posts. So your advertisements, if you're advertising on social media, it's only going out to that platform. It's not going any further than that. Google ads are good. They have more of a broad reach than paid ads. And your posts on Facebook and Instagram, again, don't show up when people are searching for a realtor. For example, if somebody types in realtor Alhambra, they're never going to see anything that you post on Facebook. So how are you going to get your name out there instead? Google ads. However, Facebook does have a lot of useful, good uses. For example, I am shocked by how many people, when I'm coaching home inspectors, how many people do not have a Facebook page, a personal page that's meant just for business. And I'm shocked, even with realtors, when I look at their Facebook page, there is absolutely zero mention on their Facebook page that they're a realtor. The first thing, if you open up my Facebook page, the very first thing it says, owner of Villa Home Inspections. It has a picture of some of my tools, so that anybody who pops in there, they know right off the top that we do home inspections. I have a personalized page just for home inspections. But I'm shocked at how many people don't even put on their Facebook page that they're a realtor or a home inspector. A business page, same thing. If you don't have a business page on Facebook right now, you really should put one on there. Community groups on Facebook. I can't tell you how much business I get on community groups. I belong to about 20 different community groups. Arcadia Buzz, West Covina Buzz, San Dimas Buzz, Claremont Connects, and so on and so forth. Each one of these groups allows you to post at least once a week some kind of ad. And it costs you nothing to post something at least once a week. I have a schedule on my calendar. It says, hey, today I'm posting on this. Tomorrow I'm posting on that. Peter, you raise your hand.
Oh yeah, Tony, I hate to interrupt, but how long is going to be your presentation?
I'm going to wrap this
too
up
long,
really quick.
then we can have you as come back at a second time.
Yeah, no. I'll wrap this up really quickly. I know you guys have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay, thank you.
But
Appreciate it. I'm so sorry about that.
yeah, no worries. The
Okay.
important thing is that you, regardless of the business that we're in, whether it be home inspection or real estate, you have to have a very consistent. You have to have an actual plan. Like I said, who are you targeting? Where are they locating? What platform are you going to use to reach them, and how often are you going to reach out to them? And it has to be very, very consistent. So yes, I'd be happy to come back some other time and go into a lot more detail on this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do presentations. I've got a couple of national speaking gigs going on right now for home inspectors, and this is what we coach them on, is how to generate more business by using marketing and social media.
Yeah,
But
I'm really
so
sorry.
again, I didn't want to talk about home inspections today. I wanted to give you guys something of value. So I hope you got something. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help out any way I can.
Yeah, you know, you're a man of many hats. Really thanks to you, Tony. But and you are good at what you do too. So appreciate it very much.
I appreciate the invite. Yeah, like I said, I always try to provide something of value for you guys. I try never to spam you.
Okay, sorry to interrupt because the affiliate highlight is supposed to be 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
no worries.
no problem.
I'm glad you jumped in, Peter, because I can, you literally have to shut me up sometimes. I can talk for days.
We'll invite you next time, second time, sir.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Well, everybody have a terrific day. Have a terrific week. Okay.
Any question for Tony before we let him go?
Yeah. Tony, appreciate that. Very good, very good information, Jeffrey.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tony. We'll see you next time.
All right.
One more question.
Oh,
One more
David.
question.
Before you leave, Tony, I want to give a quick testimonial in your behalf. I acquired a duplex in Pasadena at 17172 South Grand Oaks. And before I sold it, the city of Pasadena required me to get a compliance inspection. An inspector showed up. I took his card and I punched it in my Apple iPhone. When I punched you in today, there it shows Tony Escamilla was the city of Pasadena home inspector that inspected my property for me to get my compliance report for me to sell it. So that tells me that you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tony.
I do work with them.
I want to tell you that you get around.
Thank you so much. I try really hard.
Okay. Thank you, Tony.
All
We'll
right.
see you next
Thank you.
time. All right, guys. As you know, the Ruben is on vacation, has 2 weeks for vacation, and so I'm taking care of the housekeeping tour for him. And the first thing I would like to announce is the birthday shout out to the people who has a birthday this month. James Wang, Michelle Olsen, happy birthday, Michelle.
Thank you.
And Cindy Fan, Virginia Deeb, and Rosa Reyes, and Shimi Kam. Happy birthday to all of them. Okay. All right. And the next thing is that I would like to remind you that this Wednesday, on the 13th, we continue with the CRE Win class number 2. We had the first session last week. It was pretty successful and it was very informational. But if you have not registered, it's too late already. The class is full. But for those who has registered, I think you should continue with the CRE Win class, and at the end you'll get a certification, and it will be very good for your credential. Okay. So, and also next Wednesday we'll have a social media class with Christy Kennedy at 11:30. The reason that we have to change the time is because the CLE Win class is 1.5 hours from 10 to 11:30. And then we jump immediately to the social media class with Christy Kennedy at 11:30. And usually the CLE1 class will end a little bit early, so we have plenty of time to catch the next class, which is the social media class with Christy Kennedy. And as usual, the Christy Kennedy class is always good. They give you a lot of insight on social media. So please attend. And also Friday, we don't have any training this Friday. Okay, and also that we want to remind you that the 8-hour caravan on Wednesday and the Pasadena caravan on Thursday. Hope you guys can participate. It's very useful. It's a lot of good listing there, and you can mingle with the agents and the brokers, and that's a good thing to socialize as well. And you just keep on doing it, and I'm sure that you add to the business plan. Okay, and with that, I would like to turn it over to Doug Meyer, and he will give you the updates on the Arcadia office. Doug?
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? That was a nice presentation that he gave. It was really nice. Hey, within next couple of days, I have 2 birthdays of 2 of my really longtime agent friends, Arthur He and Sharon Chow. So congratulations to them. And here on our call today, we have a brand new agent who just joined us a couple of days ago, Jane Shea. Good morning, Jane. Welcome to our family. This is the other half of the family, some of them from Alhambra. And anyway, I want to tell you about a couple of listings and sales we have, and also remind the Arcadia agents to be sure to come to my Thursday Arcadia agent meeting at 10 o'clock. You'll be getting multiple invitations to that, so you won't forget. A couple of our listings in Oakland, okay? If you want to make $119,000 commission from the buyer side, 18 units in Oakland, totally refurbished, $4,750,000. You get 2.5% commission. KO is our listing agent. In Baldwin Park, Alma Aguilar listed a mobile home, 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $129,000. Also, Kathy Chu has a residential lease on Oak Haven in Arcadia, $49.80 a month. Sharon Chow has a lease in Hacienda Heights, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, $39.85. And we have a condo listed, 2-bedroom, 3-bath on Duarte Road in Monrovia for $650. A couple of our most recent sales, this came in late last week. Alma Aguilar sold her property in Monrovia up on Canyon, $726 North Monrovia, good price. Also, Ming Lee represented a buyer on Madison in Monrovia for $988. Michael Chan represented a buyer in San Gabriel on San Marino Avenue, $1,218,000. And Sharon Chow, again, the birthday girl, had a buyer in Montebello for $925,000. So things are cooking here in Arcadia. Wish you guys well. Have a great week. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you very much. And as for our Alhambra office, the escrow and the listing a little bit thin. But nevertheless, we have 4 escrows in place right now, total about $3 million. The first one is 10037 Chelsea Drive in Whittier sold by Patricia Ramirez for $740,000. Congratulations, Patricia. The second one is the 539 Whiteford Avenue in La Ponte, sold by Ruben and Sunshine for $690,000. Congratulations, Sunshine and Ruben. The next one is 320 Harvest Drive, Mission Vallejo, and also sold by Sunshine for $736,660. Congratulations again, Sunshine. The next one is 4602 Old Avenue in Rosemead and sold by Gus for 750,000. Congratulations, Gus. And we only have one listing, which is 253 Juniper Road, Sarah Drive in San Gabriel for 828,000 by Lily Yuan. So that's all we have for Alhambra. And so do anybody have any new listing that is not listed here that I want to add or any back to the market? All right. If not, then I will share something with you today. The market update, which I do every month. And as I said, the economy is doing very good. That's good news. But the bad news is that inflation kind of edged up again, and which is totally unexpected. And because of that, the Fed is going to, I think, they're going to raise the interest rate by 25 percentage points next month. So I don't know what is going to happen. The interest rate is really putting a drag on our business. But anyway, that's the way it is, and hopefully we'll get some changes in the near future. Okay. Nevertheless, the problem surfaces that we don't have too many inventories. That's why we don't have too many businesses. And a lot of agents are crying out, why are we not having any inventories? And why is the business so slow? It is not just you, it's all over the industry. You know, the real estate, especially the commercial real estate, is really, really slow because the sellers are not selling, the buyers not buying. And it's a little bit better in the residential. They still have a lot of buyers, but the problem is we don't have much inventory at all. The reason is that what we call the lock-in effort, which keeps the existing stock off the market. One of the reason is because of the interest rate, and you can see from this graph, the interest rate with 3% or to 4% consists of the almost more than 60%. Of the people who are making loans, taking out loans, and all that, they're sitting there with such a low interest rate. They are not going to move. They are not going to refinance. They are not going to sell their house, and because once they sell their house, they cannot buy another house for the same mortgage payment. Imagine that it used to be like they get 3 to 4%, and now the interest rate is 7.25%, and so it's almost double. And then their payment is double. Either they cannot qualify because of the income, or they cannot afford to pay the interest, the high interest. So they are sitting there, and I said, "Wow, I don't want to move. I don't want to change. I don't want to sell my house at this time." That's why a lot of people are sitting tight, and they don't want to sell their houses. And you can see that from this graph, that the people who get 3 to 4% consist of 68% of the populations, or a population of people who has mortgage loans. And there's 30% and 38%, 68.6% total is sitting there and just doing nothing because they have a lot of equity, and they are happy with their low interest rate. They are not going to do anything to disrupt that. And as you can see from this graph, the California is even worse than the rest of the country. That is why, because the California always has a shortage, especially residential houses, and the lock-in effect is even more intense in California. Another lock-in effect is the capital gains. And as you know that for the last 14 years, the house back in 2009, the house was 249,000, and now it stands at 832,000. So it's more than 3 times the price of that was like 14 years ago. So they have committed a lot of capital gains. Now, if they sell the property, they're gonna pay a lot of capital gains tax. So that's one consideration that they have to think about when they want to change the house or move up the house or sell it or move it to some other places. And so you see that in this graph, the people who are 55 or older consist of more than 72% of the population. So they are sitting there with a lot of equities. And if they sell the house, they are going to pay a lot of capital gains. Now, granted, in residential houses, if you are using as a primary residence, you can get, for one single person, you can get up to 250,000 capital gains exemption every 2 years. And for both husband and wife, we can get a total of $500,000 dollars exemption, capital exemptions every 2 years. But even with that, a lot of people are sitting there with more capital gains and then the capital gain exemptions. So if they sell their property, they're going to pay a lot of capital gains. That is why they're hesitant to sell. That's why we don't have much inventories. And you can see that from this graph, the Los Angeles County have a big portion people who has more than capital gains exemptions. If they sell the houses, they're going to pay capital gains, so they are very hesitant to do that. And you can see from this graph, a lot of counties has a substantial capital gain for the houses. That's why we don't see any much people who want to sell the property. That's why we are in such a bind right now. There's just not too many inventories. So the consequences that the inventory inches up a little bit, but still remain very, very low. You can see that for July of 2023, the house the inventory is only 2.5 months. So anything that's less than 3 months, and that means that the inventory is very tight. Back in July of 2022, there's 3.2 months, which is acceptable, but even that is pretty low. So like back in 2007, the inventory is like 16 months, and at that time you have a lot of inventories. We don't want to see that, but at least and also we don't want to see as a low inventory as a 2.5, which was last month's data shows. And so the existing single family residence active listing stands at 30,000, which is a lot less than in 2022, the 43,000. So the listing, no doubt, is pretty depressed. And you can see that the growth, and other than then some of the growth for the luxury house, 2 million or more, they still have a growth of like 7%. So the luxury market is doing better than the regular market. And you can see this regular market below $2.2 million. It's the curve is the growth rate is negative. Then you can see that the new existing listing is also depressed at 3.2 thousand. And you can see the year to year, and at the beginning from July of 2022, the growth rate has been going consistently negative. That's why we don't have any much inventories. And if you're looking at the house start or the permit permit activities, that shows you that since 2009, it's always below the desirable rate. You have to have 180,000 units to maintain or to maintain the house supply. But over the last 14 years, it's always below, and that's why you have a very high shortage of residential homes in California, and that exacerbated the problems. That's why we're getting kind of pretty tight on the inventories, and look at the population. Everybody's thinking that a lot of people are leaving California, but you can see that over the years, like California population had grown, but the housing stock has been very it's not up to par or up to what they expected. So we still have a shortage of still have quite a bit of way to go here. So the median day on the market is 17 days, which means that you can sell your house very fast if you can get the listing. So the listing is the name of the game. If you can get the listing, you're pretty good, already. And so go for listings. That's the way of that's the name of the game right now. Okay. And there's still 49% of the house close above the listing price, so which is surprising. That's why the price is still up there, and a lot of buyers are trying to buy the house above the listing price. And I have a friend who just bought a house in Monterey Park. The listing price was $890,000, and she ended up buying it for $980,000, so $10,000 above the listing price, more than 10% above the listing price. So and still percentage of the that's only 32% of the active listing with the reduced price. So you still have a little bit a bargain. It depends on the area. You can bargain a little bit. Still at 32% of the listing, you can bargain a little bit. So it's not a desperate time. You can still drum up some business if you can get the listing. So okay. All right, so that's what I have to share today. Do you have any questions regarding what is going on in the market and the economy and also the housing market?
Hi, Peter. I have a question on the.
Do
you know or anyone know what is the commercial rate right now?
Commercial rate?
Yes.
Commercial, you mean the loan for loans?
Yes.
Yeah, this prime plus one. So the prime rate is 8.5. So prime plus one is 9.5 for commercial. Wow. Much more than the residential. That's why there's absolutely no no activity in commercial real estate. Everything is so dead. But in about 6 months to 8 months, when the loan a lot of the commercial loans come to due. To expiration, when they cannot refinance because of the high interest rate, they're going to come out and sell it at a much lower price, and the cap will not be like 4.5%. It might be more like a 7 cap, instead of 4.5 cap. So
okay, yes,
you just have to wait. You have to be patient. If you can save a lot of cash right now, that's the time to do it.
Yes. So my apartment in Oakland, which is 18 unit, and it's quite good location. Seller is very motivated. So bring in any offer. I love to work together in the office.
Oh, okay, good. We'll remember that. Yeah, we'll market that for you. Okay, Carl. Talk to Doug or me, and get your listing, we'll market it internally for you.
Okay. Yes,
All right.
thank you.
All right, anything else and any questions regarding today's presentation, or do you have any the agents? This is open forum right now. You can pitch your sales. You can tell your success story or the agonies of defeat. Okay, share that with us. Okay. Anybody want to share? I guess kind of quiet today, huh? All right, if not, then I'll adjourn the meeting and I'll see you next week. And Urban is off vacation for 2 weeks. So meanwhile, I'll take care of everything that he's supposed to take care. And if there are any questions, just reach to me directly, or if I'm not available, reach out to Michelle. Right, Michelle?
Yes, I'll be here for you. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice week and see you next week.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.